Hello there, my name is Amanda and today's video is my October wrap-up. So I just filmed my November TBR and now I'm filming my October wrap-up, so I'm excited to talk about the books that I've already read because let's just say if you want to know, the books I picked are very good. This month I read about 6 books, which is great. Not the best, but it's okay. Out of those, I read 4 novels, that was hard to count, and 2 manga, which is usually the opposite. I usually read more manga than novels, but, I read more this month, novel-wise, so, I'm happy with myself. A lot of them are not the books that I picked. Actually, I think 4 of them out of the 6 are books that I didn't pick to be on my TBR, at least I didn't pick from my box, and 2 of them are, so, sorry, I guess. But I had 2 readathons, and readathons I usually try to pick books that I already own and want to read. I just happen to read those more than the books that I randomly pick because I was more interested in these. So without further ado, let's just get into the books and not make this too freaking long. The first book I have is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is the first book. It is very tiny, and I gave this book 4 out of stars, but I'm a little, conflicted about my rating, but here's my explanation. It took me a while to figure out why I had a hard time giving it 4 stars because I like the characters, I like the plot building, it was funny, but at the same time, something was missing about the story. I don't know if it was maybe the plot wasn't well constructed for me or something, or maybe it was the characters at the end of it, or maybe it was just the humor of it and I thought it wasn't taking itself seriously. I don't know if it was that. But I think I finally found that answer after thinking about it for 3 weeks. But I think that's just because this book is way too small and I think it should have continued. Obviously it does because it has 4 or 6 books. Here it says 2, but someone told me it has way more than that. And I first came to that conclusion when I saw someone hold up a big version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but it had the first 3 novels in it, and then that's when it clicked. I was like, that's it. It just wasn't long enough for me, and that's why I feel like 4 is too high for a book that was too short. I felt like it could have been more, but I still loved a lot. I still want to continue reading, so I'm still going to keep it at a 4 because I finally figured out why I had troubles with it, but I've come to terms with it with this point. So I'm very happy that I read it. I was so scared I was not gonna like it because I've heard it's the humor can be either you like or not, but thankfully I love the humor in this book. It's definitely something I like. I am excited to pick up the next book and all the books in the series. I'll definitely be picking all of those up. I'm actually really sad that Douglas Adams actually passed away way before I knew about these books. I wish he was still writing books, but we will have to do with these precious books and this precious series, and I just really need to watch the movie as well because it has Martin Freeman in it, and I need my Martin man. So that's that book. The second book I read is a manga, and that is The Girl from the Other Side by Nagabe. I don't know, but this was a book I read for Spookathon. This was to read a book with pictures in it, and it's literally just illustrated pictures. This at first I thought was gonna be a lot cuter. Okay, you see this, and for some reason my mind went, oh, it's gonna be cute and funny. But it's actually cute and really creepy. So this was a perfect read for the month. And I'm so happy I picked it up this month because I said, it's perfect for this month. And I just need to pick up the second one ASAP and read because that ending left me in a twist and I need to know it. So I gave this book 5 stars because it is just that good. I loved the character relationship. I love learning about both the little girl and the teacher, which is what the little girl calls him, and also just learning about the world. The world is so atmospheric, even though you have this little girl and this creature who doesn't allow her to touch him because she will turn into one of these creatures, and this weird there's almost 2 worlds, even though they're in the same world. There's the outside world where they live, and then there's the inside world where I guess humans live, and the humans don't go to the outside. They feel like it's cursed, and the creatures, whatever teacher is, they're because they can't touch them, they think like you can just catch that, even though that's not the case. You have to literally touch them. And I'm just like fascinated by it, and I just really need to read more. I need to know more about my little girl Shiva. Definitely one of my favorite mangas that I picked this month. I mean, I have like 2 and they're both great, but like it just, I liked it. Okay, there's nothing more to say about that one. The next book that I read was also for Spookathon, and that is, I had upside down, it is In the Woods by Tana French. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Now that I've had time to think about it, I think I would probably bring it to like a 3.75, maybe even down to 3.5. It's not like I didn't like the book or I didn't love the book. I didn't hate it, anything at all, but there's something about it. I think maybe because it went on for too long, like I'm pretty sure there's some stuff you could have like skipped out on, but I also understand that it's made for us to build the character, build the tension, and build also just like the overall staleness of the case, and hoping to find the murderer of this little girl, but also the mystery of what happened to Ryan, who is the detective on the case of the little girl, but he also happened to have went into the woods with 2 of his friends who disappeared and were never found. I am definitely going to keep reading into the series because the second one actually features Casey, however you want to say her name, and she's actually my favorite character in the book. I actually wished she was more, it was more on her, so now like the second book is about her. It's like literally in her perspective, like I need to read it. But I felt a little angry by the ending. If you've read it, you understand. You know that there's 2 mysteries. I won't specify which one because then that might ruin the book. But the first mystery you get an answer, but the second mystery you don't, and that is just frustrating to no end. Or at least, like, I don't know if you really get an answer. Maybe it's left to be open. I don't know what the author was trying to do. I felt like it didn't give me an answer. I still enjoyed the characters, and although Ryan wasn't my favorite character, I liked the fact that I really liked him in the beginning, and then he just, like, tumbled down into this character that I was just like, he is not a good character, but I felt like that was the purpose of writing him that way. Also, I had a feeling I knew who it was, but I was still, like, shocked that I guessed it right about who the culprit was for the first mystery murder, whatever. I just read this book for Spookathon and it was worth it, but also like I wish I read something that was more satisfying because I felt very empty by the ending. I was just like, I spent all my time on this. Why? Yeah, that's that book. Let's talk about the manga before I talk about the books. I read Ranma half. I read volume 2 of Ranma half. This is not like volume 2. This is 1 and 2. So I just really wanted to read it and get it out of the way because I was tired of seeing it on my currently reading list. And also this fit the challenge of reading something that is like, that will make you warm and happy. And Ranma half will always make me warm and happy. I love this series. I love the characters. And I'm rereading this for a second time. So like, I love this. There's not much to go on because it's volume 2. I basically be like spoiling what's going on, but I finally have one of my favorite characters show up. Basically, this follows Ranma, who is cursed because he fell into a body of water that was cursed, and he is stuck with the fact that when he goes into cold water, he turns into a girl, and when he goes into hot water, he turns back into a guy. And right now, there isn't like any plot to like, does he want to break the curse or not? But like, he does. It's just not now. Like, not much importance right now. But I know it's gonna happen. It's coming up, my boy. So, going into the books, I need to talk about these books because I literally finished them yesterday, so I have thoughts. So, the first book I finished is Supernatural Nevermore. I do want to clear up a little thing. I said I picked the wrong book when I did my Witchathon TBR. I picked the third book, which I think was Bone Key. The first book is actually Nevermore, so I was wrong on that. I didn't double check, and I apologize. But I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. But wait, let me explain. So, it's a strong 3.5 out of 5 stars because, see, I love Supernatural. I've seen all the episodes. I'm still watching the show. I love the characters. And so because I love the characters, obviously, I enjoyed this book a lot because I felt like I was just reading an episode. But that's the problem. I was reading an episode, and let me just say, reading an episode is kind of boring, at least for this book. So it just like, cause like you only really like delve more into answers about the two mysteries. It's always two freaking mysteries. Like I would say around like page 250 is like when you finally get answers for one of the mysteries, and then like halfway through that, around page 275, you get some answers for the second mystery. And this book is 315 pages. I mean, it's short because it's like tiny book. It's like very tiny, but like nothing happened, honey, until the very end. But I still liked it because it's about Sam and Dean. So it's like I'm gonna be continuing the series, obviously, because I love Sam and Dean, and I could reread the story and be fine with it because I'd be reading about my boys. But, like, reading an episode is not the best. So that's why I gave it 3.5, because it's, like, it wasn't the most entertaining. There wasn't much happening until the very end. But I still enjoyed it a lot because it's my boys. So, it's hard to rate something like that. And, finally, my last book, and that is Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. And I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. So this I read for Witchathon for the buddy read, and I read this with my friend. And this book, holy crap, okay? I was not expecting that twist. Like, I haven't felt a twist like that since The Death of Mrs. Westway, so you know it's good. And I just, honestly, I loved it. I ended up loving characters I thought I would hate. I ended up not liking characters I thought I would love. And I was surprised by the end of the mystery. Like, woo! I was not seeing that at all, and I was so sad because, like, if you read this book, you know what I mean. It's definitely fitting for the month of October, especially like Halloween. I finished it on Halloween night, so it was like perfect. And I'm like sad I don't get to see these characters anymore. I'm sad that like I don't get to just read about Dayton and June and, you know, Mila, who is like, you know, our superhero of the book, or I guess our badass witch of the book. And I'm just like, I'm really sad that we don't get to read this. I think I will definitely reread it because it's just one of those books. But I really love this. There's really not much to say without having to spoil the book. I gotta say, great book. I can see why everyone likes it, and I'm definitely giving it a high rating because it's just like, I was last night just reading this and just being like that's all I did last night was read this book and Supernatural. But like, I was hooked into this to the very end, and it is so worth it. Like, I'm not even mad that I didn't finish The Girl Who Drank the Moon, because like, this is so good, and I'm so happy I read this. Those are all the books that I read for October, so I hope you enjoyed what I read. I hope I read some books that you liked, and hopefully I gave it a good enough rating. Let me know if there's any of these books you haven't read and now are interested in reading, because like, that's how I find my books, is that I see people talk about them and I'm like, I need to read that. And if not, I will hopefully see you in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, like, and subscribe if you like to, but I understand if you don't want to. I hope you have a great November, because it is almost the end of 2018, so the last 2 months need to be like freaking good. Like, personally, they need to be freaking good, and it's my November is my birthday month, so like, it really needs to be special this month. So I hope you have a great November, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!